From the Virginia border to Wilmington, we're playing the best oldies on the radio at Oldies 107.9. Let me give you those dimensions again, if you would, please. This is for the sake of our guest, Chris King, being heard from the Virginia border to Wilmington, from the capital in Raleigh and some points west, all the way to the seafront there. So you are getting a good deal of coverage, Mr. Chris King. Welcome to the program. Hey, delighted to have you on with us here.
How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks. Glad to be here, you guys.
You were on television last night in Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, that was Channel 9.
Have you had a lot of folks calling you already saying, Chris, can you come do some stuff for us?
No, because I don't have a phone.
Oh, well,
so.
we'll remedy that here at Oldies 107.9. Now, you're an interesting guy in that Chris King, ladies and gentlemen, is a true Renaissance man. I don't think that the television coverage nearly gave you enough bio information.
Yeah, it was a little short, but I enjoyed it. They said they were going to come back and see the murals when they get a little more finished.
Right. Well, tell us about the dimensions of the paintings that you are currently conducting in Eastern North Carolina in Greenville at the Plaza Mall.
Well, the first painting that I'm doing is the scuba diver ones. Most of my paintings aren't that big. They're usually 50 feet by like 20 feet.
Oh, they're not that big. Not big at all. Yeah, exactly. He's got a thumbnail sketch over there.
The one that I'm doing now is a little larger. It's like, I'd say 80 to 100 feet wide by like 20 feet tall.
Oh, so, man. Well, it's a lot easier to do that when you're using abstract visuals. Now, you're actually more of a realist.
Right. That's my style.
So you want it to look like it's a photograph.
Yeah.
Of scuba divers, much more so than just kind of an idea that it's scuba divers.
Yeah, I don't like impressionism or any of that kind of thing. I'd like to do it on smaller scale, like 11 by 17 inches.
Which would be the exact dimensions of my garage door. So anytime you want to come by when you're seeing some spare time, that's what I want. In fact, I was thinking you're doing scuba divers right now, right?
Right.
What would it take? Now let's whisper here because we don't want people overhearing this.
Yes.
What would it take for Jerry Wayne and my faces to appear as the face of two of the scuba divers?
I'm pretty sure that could be arranged.
You think? Yeah, we like that. Little Bobby, I'm sorry, you're SOL. You aren't getting your picture on there because nobody ever hears him anyway. Listen, we want to...
Well, how graphic do you want it to be? I mean, I could, like, make a scene from Jaws or something.
No, that would be
by a shark or something like that.
That's a little too close to realism, I think, is what we're talking about there.
But someone my size is more than just an appetite for John. We're talking huge all-day meal. So I like little gnaw bites out of my thigh.
Could you actually do that? Would that be pretty cool if you could work our images into the
Jaws eating
faces.
him and Loch Ness Monster chasing you around on the bottom or something like that.
And this would be with photorealism?
Oh yeah, it'll just, you'd think you were there.
Very cool. Okay, so you're doing this wall at the plaza. Now, is this going to be at the one giant mural, or I had heard that you were going to be doing any number of the walls there?
Well, there's about 8 different paintings that we're going to be doing. So.
Okay.
The scuba diver is the first one, and then the wall right across from that is going to be another one, and then there's 6 or 7 different spots all throughout the mall.
And how big are these going to be in the end? Each one of them is going to be of the same scope? 100 feet by 80 feet?
No, the 100 feet one is the biggest one.
Right.
The rest of them are like 50 feet, maybe 10 feet, 20 feet.
And when I say that you're a Renaissance man, you actually do a lot more than just paint. This is particularly for the younger listener who's on his way to school, for instance, or she's on her way to school with mom and stuff. Explain how you come about being able to do this with photorealism. It's years of dedication to the arts.
Right, exactly. I started when I was 10 years old. I was
10 years old?
So I was severely dedicated as a child.
Your first mural?
My first mural was, I was 16.
And how'd that happen?
It was over a girl. She broke my heart.
The way all great artists begin, with a girl breaking their heart.
So I didn't like sever an appendage or anything like that, or cut off an ear or anything.
That's a good idea.
I just stayed up. I had a stack of pastels there, and I stayed up all night painting this mural. But by the time
where was the mural? Now the girls broke your heart, so you're painting a mural.
It was in my bedroom.
In your bedroom?
Yeah, I just looked up at the wall and I was like, I'm going to dedicate these 3 walls to her. So it went all the way around the room. It was a castle that was floating up in the sky as if it had just been lifted out of the ground. And then this waterfall splashed into it hit the rocks 3 times. And then at the end, it splashed into a rainbow. And the rainbow went all the way around the room.
Oh, that's cool.
If you painted that for me, I'd be your girlfriend.
You'd be married. So what happened? Did she come back? Did you show her the room and then she fell in love with you again and you're happily married now?
No, she left me.
Oh!
Yeah, she was like,
And
Thanks
then
for
you
the
put up
painting,
your
see.
Kiss posters and everything was all better.
Yeah.
And that rainbow looked really cool in black light.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen it. So how did you get the job of doing a mural at the mall? How did that come about?
You mean here at the Plaza Mall?
Well, in the
That's kind of
first
a long
time, I mean,
story.
how did it happen the very first time you approached somebody and said, you know something, I think I ought to do a mural?
Well, the first mural I did professionally was for the Ramada Corporation, and I started out, I was a lifeguard, and I would go in and I would like scribble all over the desks and doodle all over the, the memos, and they would be like, stop that, and then they would tell me, well, why don't you paint a painting on that wall over there? And they pointed at this wall that was like, 100 feet wide and 20 feet tall. And, oh, sure, I'm just gonna go paint a painting on the wall over there, right? So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Then they kept bugging me, so I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then here I am,
Was it Pamela Lee?
No.
Well,
No,
you're
it was
a
sort of
lifeguard.
similar. Yeah, it was sort of similar to the one I'm doing at the Plaza now.
And your the first actual mural that you were paid for and approached to do was in Baltimore. You got that through a very interesting story I see in your bio as well. How that
Yeah. Well, I was walking into the Hunt Valley Mall in Baltimore to develop a roll of film because of People's Drug Store, and because they have a better, selection.
Boy, you
Yeah,
guess who his sponsors are, can't
Yeah.
you? Sure.
Okay, so I go in there to develop this film, and I'm walking, and I'm wearing my lucky vest. This vest right here I got on with the tiger on it and stuff.
And you painted that yourself,
Yeah,
right?
I painted
Very
this
nice.
vest. And
And I want you to do my tank top when you're done.
okay.
so you walk in to get your film developed, all right?
Okay, and the concierge was like, wow, that's a cool looking vest. So, she's kind of cute. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go talk to this girl. So they all come about by like girls or something. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
She's going to break your heart in the end, I guarantee you.
Okay, so I go and talk to her and she's like, well, you should paint some paintings here. So she gives me the name of the mall manager, who is like Fred Payne and Beth Luca. And I set up a meeting with them, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in their office, and I got a meeting, and we're talking about it for like a couple of months, and then I'm putting up a painting over there in October, and then they introduced me to the big guy, like the Faison guy,
You mean for the mall,
yeah,
all the different malls,
all the
right?
malls up and down the East Coast, and
Right.
he sends me down here.
Unbelievable.
So,
Next thing you know, there's scuba divers up in the mall at the plaza, and you're talking 100 feet scope. An amazing,
and I don't even know what the roll of film was. I forget.
Well, after you stayed a couple months in their office talking to them, I'm sure
Yeah.
there was a little thing there that made you forget the film. His name is Chris King. He is a Renaissance man. Not only does he paint, but he's also a performer. He can whip out a folk guitar at a moment's notice.
Yeah, we can talk about like my TV show that I'm producing, or we can talk about some of my inventions if you want to, or some of the other paintings at the mall. Whatever you want to. What do you want to kick around?
Boy, listen to this. Listen to this subject matter. A TV show, a folk performer, tons of paintings as well, giant murals, all of this. We could spend all morning talking to him. Unfortunately, we don't have the time. Chris does.
No, wait, we can't.
Yeah. Chris goes, I haven't performed my song yet. Actually, you can see Chris anytime at the Plaza Mall. He's going to be working there for the next 3 months, and we encourage you to go by and do exactly that.
What is my car worth? Will I get enough for my car to make a down payment, or will I need extra cash? What kind of